Hey guys, Lord here, back again with another action figure review, and for those of you unaware, a little bit of behind the scenes action here, this is the first action figure review I've recorded since good old Midnighter, who went up yesterday, but I actually uploaded that video 3 weeks before the time I'm recording this review. So your boy Overlord Productions here took a much needed in fact, break from recording. Call it a post-holiday early winter break, if you will. But we're back in action, just like the Looney Tunes, and today we'll be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Dark Knights Metal Amazon exclusive, oh geez, Dread Lantern Alan Scott, Green Lantern. That's right. Why is he a Dread Lantern? Well, maybe the flaming eyes aren't good enough a giveaway, but this guy is Surtur's general. And yes, when I say Surtur, I mean the big scary looking demon guy from Thor Ragnarok. Now I know that's a Marvel movie, but same crap. Different comic. Company. And comic in general. That said, this of course brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys. And again was an Amazon exclusive that I did not know was an Phenomena. You tell I'm a little rusty after my break, but screw it, we're doing it live, we're doing it the Bill O'Reilly way. Gotta get it done, gotta get her done. No sleep, no rest, do anything it takes to be the best here. But this is a figure I did not know was an Amazon exclusive because McFarlane Toys, I love them, I really do. But there are days where I just get sick of their exclusive crap. Particularly with the Target Supergirl, and the Catman, and the Riddler, and the Tim Drakes. Like, I still don't have a Tim Drake because they're all freaking exclusives. Can y'all cut it out with that? Seriously? That said, let's go right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review before it turns into a rant. I don't want it to turn into a rant because I actually really like this figure. We'll get into that in just a moment. So, as far as accessories that are actually useful, it's Mr. Alan Scott here. He comes with this badass flaming sword, which isn't too gummy. Not sure if it's warped or not, but doesn't look it. But that's pretty cool. Fits in his left hand. I'm a right hand kind of guy, but he does have a fist hand with his lantern ring on it. That's probably why it's like that. And of course, he comes with the collectible trading card with a bio on the back that you can pause and read at your own leisure. Hopefully. Can somebody tell me if this is actually clear and you can read this? Or should I just not even bother showing you the back of this? Either way, there it is. Like I said, he's from Dark Knights Metal, and he's Surtur's general. I don't know if he gets cucked out like our buddy Batrostatus, the other lantern from Dark Knights Metal, or Dark Knights Death Metal, whatever it is. There's so much DC metal stuff out there, it's hard to keep track. There's speed metal, death metal, dark metal. Where's the black metal comic? I mean, this guy is Surtur's general after all. It should have been DC Dark Knights black metal. I mean, it doesn't get more black metal than being a general for a demon and having your eyes on fire and wielding this freaking Spawn Ghost Rider ass sword. I mean, what the heck? That said, he does, of course, come with the hockey puck display stand we're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases. And here is the figure. A very nice figure indeed. He is, of course, reuse of the Collector's Edition Alan Scott, which, truth be told, have not reviewed this guy yet, so, slipping! But I was actually waiting to get the rest of this guy's, Collector's Edition wave before I reviewed him. And as of the time I'm recording this video, Abyss and I think the Action Comic Superman are on their way. So I will have a review of him going up very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. But they do share the same parts. That said, you will notice the diapers here. On this Alan Scott, it's hiked up a lot, which is weird. I don't know how to fix that. And then on this one, it's not doing that. So I don't know if this one is just warped to heck, or if there's something warped on the hip, but it like is kinked in an awful lot there. So I'm not sure what's going on there. It could just be warped, but I've heated it up many a times, and it is yet to straighten out. But thankfully, this version, the cooler version, with the frickin' Dandy Catch Ghost Rider gauntlets, and funny enough, tighter joints, because if I'm not mistaken, this guy came out second, right? Either way, I'm used to this type of stuff being like the Platinum Chase. Like, for example, the Sinestro figure I looked at right after the holidays. He has a Green Lantern variant, which I actually wouldn't mind having that. Same with the Hawkman. He's got like a classic color variant. I think Firestorm has like an all-red suit variant. But this guy is not a Platinum Chase. He's just a $20 Amazon exclusive version of the Alan Scott we already have. And I gotta tell you, I like this one more. Mostly because they made this guy look cooler than he has any right to be. I mean, he is the most impractical AF Green Lantern I've ever seen. He's got a freaking red sweater. He's got the green pants. He's got a flippin' cape. Like, just not practical. I'm used to the black and green with a little bit of white here and there Green Lantern costume that Hal Jordan rocks and Jon Stewart rocks, and even that D-bag Guy Gardner rocks, and of course Kyle Rayner. But, you know, I'm not a particular fan of the Alan Scott costume, but they made it work here. It looks cool. Looks fine. Gets the job done. That said, Alan Scott hails from the Justice Society, if I'm not mistaken, which, if you ask me, the Justice Society is just for the DC characters that weren't cool enough to make it into the Justice League. There's a lot of characters in that team that's just like, really? With the exception of Dr. Fate, my guy, of course, a lot of them are just kind of whatever. And the Alan Scott Green Lantern is no exception to that. He's just kind of whatever, he's there. Seems like a very old school team that they've tried to make really cool in recent years. I think Hawkman's been in there. Wonder Woman, I think, has even been in there. I think the Jay Garrick Flash is also a member of that team. But either way, we're not talking about all that. We're talking about this flamey-eyed freak of nature known as Alan Scott Dread Lantern. And if I had to guess, bringing in the other Alan Scott, the mask is a separate glued-on piece. There's a little domino mask there, which is also pretty common amongst the Green Lanterns. I know Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner rock that. And is it the Green Man? He's like the green alien dude. I don't know. He was an alt head in the Total Heroes line, for those of you who remember that back in the Mattel days. But the domino mask on this figure, anyways, to me, feels like a separate glued-on piece. Because that would explain how they're able to put the glowy eyes on there without recasting the whole head. Because other than that, it looks like the same head sculpt. So if I had to guess, the mask is a separate glued-on piece. That said, as far as articulation goes on this guy, his head is on a double ball peg. You can go up and down, tilt side to side, rotate side to side. Shoulders go out. Nice tight ratchets on there, which I'm not used to on some recent McFarlane toys. They've been lacking that. They do rotate. They got that rotator cap in there. Shifts all the way around. He's got a bicep twist. He's got a double elbow that does crunch pretty well. Not too bad on the Cliffs of Dover. But not great either. He's got the ball hinge wrists, which I will tell you, both on this guy and the regular costume, Alan's got very tight. So be careful with those. I want to hit those with a little bit of heat first. A little bit. Sounded like Ren Hoek for a minute there. You stupid idiot! You don't deserve to live. He's got a double ball peg in the diaphragm, so you can crunch him that far forward. Crunch back a lot farther than he can forward, but thankfully not too loose on this guy. Fairly stiff there. I did heat mine a little bit, so it's a little looser than it was, but not floppy. He's got a waist twist with lots of range down there. Like, you can do all kinds of stuff with the waist. Arguably more than the diaphragm, which is usually where you get more movement. But for whatever reason on this guy it's reversed. But, you know, this is the ideal articulation scheme nowadays. Double ball peg here and a single ball peg here. You just get more attitude and play out of that. Hips kick out, back down. They do kick forward and back. He does have a double knee. It does crunch up. Not too bad on the Cliffs of Dover once again, but not great either. You can see he's got this big gnarly cut on the knee. Kind of like that, is it Superwoman from the Crime Syndicate. So, once again, not a fan of that. And also, it should be worth noting, this guy has like no thigh cut to speak of. He does have hinged feet though, which are on the ball hinges. I can only really get the rockers to work on this guy. The swivel back and forth, it's there. You can see it there, actually. There we go. It's working a little better now. But not great. It's a little stiff. And then he's got the toe joints, which don't look terrible. Got them on both sides. But yeah, that's it. That's the Dread Lantern Alan Scott in a nutshell. Cool figure. Not sure if he's top 10 or anything worthy as far as DC Multiverse go. I will tell you, it's going to be tough to beat the Nightfall Batman for my top DC Multiverse figure of the year. But, which is a video I do plan to make, my top figures of the year, even though I know it's frickin' February at this point. It's time this is going up. It's like super late January as the time I'm recording it, but it will be February by the time it goes out, so, you know. That's my problem, not yours. But, you know, people show up for the top whatever videos, so, you know, it's probably inevitable at this point. But there he is with his flaming sword in hand, ready to hack and slash some poor sucker. But before we wrap this thing up, this of course wouldn't be one of my videos without bringing in the Mythic Legion's brother Mandibulith. Have you seen my Mandibulith? He's right there. And in the intro. And then of course we have the infamous Okay 11 Spawn, who as usual is a little taller. A little bit. Usually he's towering because a lot of the stuff I used to review was flipping Marvel Legends, and those are always smaller than the big chunky McFarlane Toys offerings, right? But I think the Dread Lantern here looks good with him. You know? I will say I do wish he came with the same kind of punching flame effect that the other Alan Scott had, but you know, you could always give it to this guy. But the flames don't match, so it kind of doesn't make sense. But all that aside, really cool figure. I dig him quite a bit. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and if you would have told me many years ago that I would have liked a figure of good old Alan Scott here enough to say, you know what, this thing's pretty dope, I would have said you were crazy, because his costume is absolutely ridiculous and impractical from a Green Lantern perspective, because those guys don't wear capes. And last I checked, the Green Lantern uniform was uniform amongst all the Green Lantern. You know, black, green, maybe white here and there. But for the most part, green and black. This guy, red friggin' sweater, for crying out loud. Crazy green pajama pants and a big old honk of green cape with yellow clasps. Not exactly practical, and not exactly the Green Lantern costume we're all familiar with. That said, he does have the same kind of domino mask that we're used to seeing with Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner. Not so much John Stewart, or Guy Gardner. They don't rock the mask like that, although I think Jessica Cruz did. That said, the Dread Lantern Alan Scott here is probably the coolest Green Lantern figure we have in the DC Multiverse line, brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys. I'm going to say it because you can't go wrong with some Danny Ketch Ghost Rider style gauntlets and a flaming frickin' sword. Like, what the heck? This guy is cooler than he has any right to be, and that is why I like this figure so much. And for the $20 price point, I can't recommend it enough, especially if you're into the Dark Knight's metal stuff like yours truly. This is a definite must-have. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.